The Republican leader of the U.S. House of Representatives on Monday proposed a deal to raise the federal debt ceiling in exchange for spending cuts.
Our proposal will examine wasteful Washington spending and executive overreach in all forms. Among other items, it will claw back tens of billions of dollars in COVID-related money.
The proposal by House Speaker Kevin McCarthy at the New York Stock Exchange comes as the federal government ticks closer to the moment sometime this summer when it will no longer be able to pay its bills, including interest on its debt, without legislation to increase the current $31.4 trillion borrowing limit. Without action by the divided Congress, that failure would trigger a historic default that would shake the U.S. and world economies.
Let me be clear, defaulting on our debt is not an option. But neither is a future of higher taxes, higher interest rates, more dependency on China, an economy that doesn't work for working Americans.
But McCarthy has already floated this proposal, one rejected by Democrats. President Joe Biden's Democrats, who also control the Senate, have been at loggerheads with Republicans for months over next steps on the limit, with the White House insisting Congress lift the borrowing limit without conditions, as it did 3 times under former Republican President Donald Trump. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
The solution here is straightforward. Republicans should work with Democrats in good faith to avoid default, together, just as we did under President Trump. Just as what President Reagan talked about. No blackmail, no brinksmanship, no default.
Democrats also have pushed McCarthy to lay out a specific budget plan. So far, House Republicans have not proposed a budget of their own, a move Biden contends would be a necessary starting point for negotiations on spending. McCarthy and Republicans hold a narrow 222 to 213 majority, including a contingent of hardline members who dismiss the risks of failure to act on the debt ceiling. The White House last month proposed its own budget, which it said would cut the nation's deficit by nearly $3 trillion over 10 years, though it relied on increases in taxes on businesses and the wealthy rather than spending cuts to do so.